In this lesson we're going to create a game level. You've worked hard so far creating all the scenes and all the assets and all the other things we created so far with the programming, but now we're going to put a game level together because this is where all the fun really starts. So to create a game level, we go to scene, new scene. In the 2D scene, double click and we just call this level 1. Okay, you'll notice it's a no 2D from that. Now into this we then drag the levels that we require. Now we need to design levels very carefully because you need to test things like players' ability, and as you create more levels, the levels of difficulty generally increase. So, but more importantly, I'm just going to show a demonstration level how to do it, and then you can create your own level designs in the future. The first thing we need to do is we will drag a scene, which is the background scene, from the file system onto level 1. And because we created this background exactly the way it should be in the right size, it just drops into the level very simply. Okay, so that's on the very background on the very top level, so it could be in the background when the game runs. The next thing we need to do, we need to create a ground. So we go to the ground scene in our scenes, drag it onto the level 1, and then reposition that with the position pointers there. Okay, so that's the ground in. And just so we can test what we got so far, I'm going to drag the player into level 1. With the move tool selected, I'm going to drag the player just to there. I'm going to zoom in a little bit with the middle mouse wheel. Okay, and then we can now test. So we can test this. We're going to save level 1 to the scenes menu, and then we use our arrow keys, jump key, and that runs around quite happily. Don't worry about the music for now and the sounds. I'll show you how to do them in the next few videos. Okay, so we now know that runs, and it's very important to test often to get rid of any issues as they may arise. Okay, so next thing we're going to look at is the platforms. Again, we created one earlier, so we drag the platform onto level 1, position with the move tool where exactly you want to go. Now I think that platform's a little bit too big, so what we can do, we can move to the scale tool using the red gizmo. I can reduce the size of that slightly, and then what I can do, we can duplicate this for other platforms. So there's two ways to do that. Right click on the node you want to duplicate, either click duplicate or Control D. So I'm going to click duplicate here, and then I'm going to, with the platform 2 selected, I'm just going to do Control D twice. Now we've got 4 platforms. The first platform's already in place. Platform number 2 is in the same place as number 1. Oops, I apologize. We should have moved that to the move tool, and then we should just drag that to wherever we want to go to. Positioning things in the level is very important, but just for now I'll show you what to do. So the platform's there, we can drag the second platform there, and then finally we drag the 4th platform there. And then what we can do, I'm going to position the first platform again so the player can jump onto that, move to that one, and then that one. Okay, so that's the platforms done. Next thing we're going to put in is the HUD, so the player can see the feedback on what's going on. So these are alphabetical order. In the HUD, I'm going to drop the HUD onto the level 1, and you can see the HUD items drop in there perfectly well. I'm now going to add a collectible. In this case it's an apple. So again, I'm going to drag that to level 1, with the move tool selected, I'm going to position that one there. I'm going to position another apple. Again, we can use the duplicate, so Control D, put that one there. I'm going to put an enemy, which is the B, so I'm going to drag the B into the scene and drag it on level 1. I'm going to drag this B to this middle platform. Now be careful not to touch the platform, because that then is actually making contact, which we don't want to do that, because it might fire it off, so to get rid of the B in the first place. And then finally we'll do another apple, so choose the apple, Control D, and then I probably move the apple, forget the right one selected. That's why, because the apple's moved inside the apple, which we don't want. We want to be on the outside of that. Okay, so apple 2 is there. I don't know what happened to that. I don't know what happened to that apple then. Anyway, I'll just do it again. So Control D, duplicate, and then apple 3 is there. Move it to there, and we should be good to go. Okay, so that's as far as I know more, and then we can drag the timer in that we created earlier. The timer level scene on top of level 1, and that comes into the that needs position quite a bit. So position, we want to make certain we can see the time but not obscure the players or other characters. So if we put it there, that should be fine, I think, except for the exit level. Okay, the exit level or move level, I can't remember what we called it now. Next level, sorry, next level, drag that to level 1 and then position that anywhere you want, but I can position that just above there. Now if you position it there, the player can't attack it. I can't get to it because it's actually hidden by the ground. So we click it to there. Now on this next level, you could put extra conditions. So for instance, if there's 3 apples on this scene and we've got 10 points for each apple, we could make certain in the condition that we put in the code for the next level that the score in the game manager has to be at least 30 before you then move on. But that's just another part for an advanced video, so I'll leave that for now. So we can test this quite happily. So if we click on to play, and then you can see I'm going to drag and move my player onto the first apple. Oh, this it's because we set the time, didn't we? We set the time at 5 seconds, which doesn't give me much time because I'm talking anyway. So if we put the bring up the timer, go on to the script and change this to be, while we're testing, we can put it 100. Okay, save that, and then we go back to level 1, and we should find that we should run that better this time in a bit more time. Okay, so we move the player onto there. We move the player for the apples, and the score's gone to 20. If I hit the B, lives go, move on to the apple. Oh, that's going to make it more difficult now. As you can see, I'm not very good at playing games. Like, I'm not good at creating them, but I'm not very good at playing them. Okay, the idea is we can then move on to there, and then game over. But you get the idea. So that's now a complete game level, and if we score enough points, if we put some more code inside the next level, we'll move to the next level. So that completes the actual section on a game level design. So in the next one, we'll look at making sounds. Okay, so I'll see you then.